Hello, I'm Gordon Mekic. You're watching Tilda podcast on about Freenit framework, uh, more precisely Frontend, and we're going to run through what we've done uh, last week, and we'll continue from there, creating what is called paging, making it work, and seeing how to implement the blog detail, how to manage just one blog post, and so on. I think today we are going to have time only to display it, but uh, it's a step in the right direction. All right. So you kind of always start with DevOps. This is too small. Right. So I have my now let's say I have my fr- front end here and back end here. So I know I have to run in it. Wow, there's something new. All right, and I have to run devil. That's for the back end. So let's just peek into the browser. This is what we call the Swagger. Its purpose is for documenting the API, and obviously it helps front end and back end developers uh, understand each other, uh, their code understanding each other. Uh, it's it's always about how we integrate stuff, not just how we develop. So it's important. Anyway, we are going to run this. How I know? No. In it first. For in it, there's no need for backend URL, but who cares? It just ignores it. And backend URL is this, right? The HTTP and then host and port. What it means is that it's going to open a browser in this URL. How do I know it works? Default user is admin at example.com and password is secret with capital S. So this is what we have by now. No, sorry. This is what we have by now. This is uh, what I've been editing up until now in the front end. So let's see how it is reflected in the code. So this is a front end. We don't currently care about backend. And we have blog list. Just for a second, this blog store is magically gonna contain our uh, data. which is a list of blog posts, so that every blog post is transformed into this paper and its children based on the data that blog possesses. There's ID, there is image, all right? And that list is going to be rendered in returned, sorry, throughout this render here. So it's going to be rendered on the screen. And why I said magically Store is going to magically have it is because Store is going to do something for us. Now, actually, let me do it like this. All right. So, uh, we start with page 0 and have 9 blog posts per page. And we don't change this, well, ever. Uh, but uh, we left the possibility of changing these two, and that's what we are going to do today to get other pages with blog posts. So we're going to request from the REST API to get us this um, endpoint, and that endpoint is added to this URL. I mean this path slash blogs is going to be appended here, so it's going to be slash blogs, and it's going to correspond to this URL. That's why this blog list is called, actually rendered, routed, however you want to call it. And page and per page parameters are handed over to the backend via headers. Now, either it's exceeded and then we return response data and set that everything is okay. Setlist actually uh, triggers, does what a store should do, uh, store result and trigger the render of the newly fetched data. If there was an error, we are going to return it, and okay, it's false. So we know that result is not okay. Compile errors and show them. Right? So this is what was going on last week. And now we would like to change this, for example, this page. This per page is perfect because we need 3 by 3 posts. But let's say, how do we get here? And what happens in the browser is that, okay, so I'm not going to show you editor just to show you. I'm going to page 0. I saved, and now with the reload, this is my first blog post. All right. If I increase the page number, this is all copy paste. Okay, let me try one more. Wow, okay, 3 pages. All right. On the page 3, there are only two posts. Uh, but I wanted to show you something else. Oh, I gotta. All right. I think, yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. No, not data. So there are 4 pages, and they start with 0, so this is the last one. And that's the way how we know if this should be displayed or not. Because if I'm on the last page, uh, I don't want to have the impression that this button is able to do something. I want it to be like this. All right. So first thing, um, let's see. Let's leave it like this. How do we disable this button conditionally? Just like, well, not just like this one, but we want it disabled like this one, but conditionally. If it's on the first page or not last page, this should be as it is. So let's see the code. All right. We're gonna close this for now. And where's that button? It's this one, and this one is disabled. All right. So we want to say disabled equals um, equals true. Makes it always disabled, but it's the same as writing it like this. So we need to stick a variable here, which will say, okay, if uh, I'm on the last page, then this is true, otherwise it's false. Now let me not make a variable, but I'm going to introduce something else. Let me just go quickly. Okay, we are here, but also we can be here, all right? What does that mean in the browser? That means that blogs slash 0 is default page, and I can go to page 1, and this is all going to be a blog list, but we need to take into account this parameter so that we know which value we should send to the backend. Okay, so this column page is actually here it is. Okay, this no, sorry. Um, store. What do I want? I want page, and I want it from props, but they are in match perms. I think. Sorry. Um, Log page. Now, this is not enough. Why? Because sometimes we're going to use this, and that's not a proper URL. I'm sorry, that's not a no page. Damn it. Again. All right. So I'm taking page as a parameter, this parameter, and for now I'm just logging to see if what I want is actually true. So if I write 5 here, it should go right. This is 5. So I know what page I'm on. Now I need to say, okay, what about you fetch me that page actually. Now I should get, yeah. Requested range out of boundaries, which is something I expected, but number 1 should work fine. Number 0 should, damn it. So number 0 should also work fine. And this is my first block. And this should be the same page. No. Okay, it isn't. Why? Because this is undefined. And now it's all confused because now this is the default 3. And we actually want 0. All right. And when it's 0 or undefined, then I get the first page or the page at index 0. All right. So what's going on here? Let's go over that once more. Page is now 0 per page is 9. The rest of the code is as it was. And fetch now, okay, we don't need this anymore. Fetch now gets the information which page should it fetch. So that's what changed, but we still didn't solve the disabled, right? So what do? We say if this props match perms is not, no, it's equal to whatever. Um, this prop store. No, I can already have this. So blog list page. I think this is the one. -1, right? Okay, let's see how this works. So, yeah, but it doesn't do anything. Okay, so let's check it out in the browser. This doesn't work yet, it's not a link, but we can go to 2. All right, how about 3? All right, but this should be disabled. Maybe on the 4th it is. No, my math is rubbish. All right, so, oh yeah, params, not that page. Uh, what I changed is it was like this. So, what? It's never disabled. How come? So, this is the last one. Okay, let's do it like this. um, last page equals for start list page, and we want to know what's in the last page. All right, it's undefined. What? Oh. Okay, so it's pages. Right. How about now? Damn it. All right, so this is what we got. On page 4, it's disabled, but not yet on 3. So in my code, this needs to be like this, I think. And now this is what we have, right? How about we create the um, links, right? So first, all right. First, let's make it a bit more readable. So const page is this props match params. All right. So this is if page is list pages minus one. All right. Better. All right. And this also needs to be disabled conditionally by saying page equals 0. All right. We need next and previous. So we're going to need next something. Uh, Previous is going to be something. We're going to get there in just a second. And the on click should trigger. This is previous and this is next. Okay, so for start, let's just make sure we're triggering the right functions. All right, let's go to the browser and see what's going on. Previous, all right. If I'm not on the last page, this is next. This is previous. Beautiful. If I am on the no, wait. All right, all right. So it doesn't work if there's nothing here because I'm comparing it to 0 and it's definitely not 0. It's undefined. But this is what I'm gonna do. Uh, on the current page is if page is set, then it's page. Otherwise, it's 0. And I'm gonna say current page and current page. Did I miss? All right. Yeah, I did. Okay, so I'm using the variable constant current page here and here. I am calculating it. This is basically saying, is the page undefined? I mean, if it's not undefined, then set it to the page that is requested. Otherwise, it's 0. If this page is not set, then set the current page to 0. And now should be somewhat better. Right? Damn it. But it's not. Sign a value but never used. What? Current page. How is this possible? Why? So it works with zero. Hmm. Let me see. I hate debugging live, but we are here. Uh, current page is current page. Then no, what am I doing? Page, current page. All right. These values 0 and 0. That's true. Current page. All right. What? Wait, did I forget something? No, no. I'm just displaying I don't know how to program. Beautiful. Oh, how about I say it's a number, trust me. What about now? All right. All right. Yeah, that's it. So, what's going on here is that you can see that the page is undefined, but the resulting current page is a number. So, comparison works. All right. And this next works. You can see this number increasing. All right. So, how about the next thing we do? We create a little link, kind of. So, this prop store history push is so I'm gonna need it. I'm gonna need this. Right, I must know what's the current page. So if current page no, 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 wait. So I must get the current page, and for the previous I have to do current page minus. What? Do I have this? No? Am I confusing languages? I mean, mixing? Oh, read. Alright. So, do I have this? Value but never used. Don't sweat about it. So, if current page is greater than 0, oh yeah, let page string. I keep forgetting the code. Yeah. So yeah, I have to get the page as a string, and parameters is a string, convert it to number or 0, subtract 1 because it's previous, then see if. No, what am I doing? No. So I need history. also. All right. So where am I pushing? I'm going towards blocks, then no, it's not a current page, it's previous page. If I'm right, so I'm pushing it towards. Uh, can I? Beautiful. Right. So let's see if previous works. Um, let's say I go to 2, and now when I go here, alright, when I go to 0, yeah, there is no such case because it needs to push to a slightly different location, and that's this. Um, Let me show you. This else wasn't here. So in case of 0, just append nothing. That's the idea. And now, alright, we're at the blocks. What? Why don't you works? Hmm? Alright. There's still some weirdness left. Right? So 2 to 1. Alright. Then to 0. Am I fetching stuff or not? Oh, I'm not. Okay, so let's just make the same thing for the next, basically. And then we have URL changing. Then I have a pretty good idea what's wrong. So, next page. Page +1. Now, this shouldn't even be possible, but okay. Um, no, actually, I don't need this. Just go here. Why? Because if I'm on 0, on page 0, this is going to be 1. Okay, so let's see the browser. This should change the URL. Okay, that's working. This is disabled. When I get to 0, this is disabled. 0 is not shown. I only need to refetch uh, this blog list with a new page once the this changes. So let's say I don't know how to do that. Let's just assume that. And you can see that this page comes from props ultimately. Params match props, right? If you go up the tree, but ultimately it's in the props. So when props change, I want to do something. When that parameter changes, I want to go to a different location. All right. So how about I say React uh, hmm, trigger on prop change. Right? Uh, if you search in the whatever you use for searching, then functional component, right? No, all right. This is what we did. What we want. Update and notify. All right. This is what we need. Did the previous props contain the same value as the current props? Uh, Actually, let me increase it a bit. So this is what we're after. Uh, we want it to react to the change in our props so that this URL corresponds to something. All right, so what does it say? I need component did update and something like this. Uh, uh, all right. So in my props I have this match perms then page. So match perms page. This props match perms page. Okay, and what I want is right. I need to do this again. Why? Okay, I can do it differently. I can say props match perms page. And then in constructor, I'm gonna fetch page. This is not going to be needed. And if you didn't provide a page, it's 0. All right. Why do I do that? Because here I wanna fetch this const page is all right. So when component did update and one of the updated things is the page in the parameters, then fetch a new set of data. All right. I've shown you editor when I needed to. I really forget that sometimes. What? Oh, my, it's just a typo. So, yeah, I'm streaming a browser. So if I go back, all right. So we have our paging. Uh, well, almost. This needs to reflect the current page, and it will in just a second. So it's here, and I need to display the current page, actually, not just one. Right, so this, let me show you. So this actually fetches a new set of blog posts and changes where we are. Right? So this is, I would say this is the paging actually working. Now, we have a bunch of blog posts that are actually dumb, but this works, right? Uh, all right. So one thing I wanted to show you is that it's actually really easy to find information on React and how React lifetime methods are executed. Uh, you should read about that. It's a good read. It's how React actually works. So you should know that. But yeah, when something happens like an update, how do you find it? Oh, all right, I don't need this. And now it would be nice if this paper would be actually a link. And what would be a link to uh, mm, blog slash. Oh, I have no idea. Okay, I know it should be year something something, but let's just say it's ID for the sake of simplicity. Then key should be part of root element, and this is not ID. This is blog ID. Link actually doesn't exist right now from React Router DOM. Alright. And everything should be fine. So wherever I click, this whole section, this whole cell is now a link that takes me to the blog with ID 7. And that's not really helpful. Now, for the sake of today's lecture and not getting into too much trouble today, we're just going to assume that this is what, for the sake of detail, this is what actually needs to happen. Uh, that same picture should be shown here. We should get the metadata, the title, and whatnot. And currently, we have only a link, and I think that link is wrong. Let me show you why. Okay. Okay. So we have blog slash ID. All right. And what we have in the front end is when we go there, blog slash ID. But that's not good. I think that's not good because you don't see an ID here, you see a slug. Let me show you what it means. Data content image slug. Okay, so instead of ID of 1, I should send this slug, my first blog post. All right? And that's not what I'm doing. Let's just try to do the same thing here. So if I say the slug is 1, as I'm currently saying, it doesn't find anything. So my first blog, on the other hand, doesn't find anything. My first blog post, okay. Now it finds it. Um, Slug is a way for your URL to contain. Sorry, I forget. So slug, if I enter it like this, it works. We can see a slug here, and it kind of resembles the title, right? So why do we want that? Because we actually want to get here my first blog post, and then it should display, well, the proper data, which it currently doesn't. Now let's go and change that. That's actually really, really easy to change. Just say, okay, I'm going to give you a slug here. Trust me. And then in the detail, I'm gonna do a lot of things in the detail. But it's actually quite easy because it kinda resembles this. Not actually, because I don't have a page. I'm not using fetch all, I'm using slug, and that slug comes from, that comes from match perms, right? So, importers from Freenit. All right, and I don't need this. All right, and now I have no idea what's gonna happen. Let's check it out. Woohoo! This is not what I want. Okay, back to the drawing table. Oh, I can see. Okay, give me a sec. All right. Is it better now? Yeah. So this is what we see. What happens now is, oh, blog not found. Okay, that's what we want. Right. So let's see also the network. What's going on? We are actually fetching this API v0 blocks 1, and we should go to the slug, not the blog post, the blog ID. Sorry. So let's make our initial data a bit better, because we're going to have ID, slug, title, and content for sure. And we're going to, where is it? All right. So it's not ID, it's slug. Let's check it out. All right, this looks good. So my first blog post, if I go here, Okay, I wonder what happens here. I get a same slug. Okay, so this is a bad backend. Bad backend. Um, the slugs usually, if the title is the same, append a number or find a way to make it unique, and that's what should happen. Uh, we will improve the backend. That's not the issue, but you should know how it works. And software sometimes doesn't work. All right, so let's just quickly run over what we've done. This is changing with the pages. Uh, sorry. Uh, the zero is actually never shown in the URL, but other numbers are, so that we know which number, what's the number of the page that we are currently viewing. Maybe this shouldn't be auto, but 33% or like 30% and leave some gap. But yeah, it would look more consistent. It wouldn't jump like this between the pages. And we're disabling these buttons conditionally if I'm on the minimum uh, page that is zero is disabled, and this one quite the opposite. If it's maximum page, then don't go any further. What we've done with these is convert them into links that uh, now it's blog with S in the end, but when I click, it's blog slash the slug, and we are showing some hard coded data for now. But this is how you differentiate what did the user want based on the URL and how you can use that data, those parameters, to access the proper data in the backend. So that would be all for today. I want you to think about donating to Tilda Center. Our lectures are and always will be free, and we are collecting money to um, rent an apartment and do this in person also once we can. So that's a neat little plan. Try to help us out if you can, and see you